Hello, my name is Victor, and I am in a group with Sean and Asador, and I will walk you through some of the steps that we have completed so far in the project, some of the steps that we are working on currently, and some of the challenges that we are experiencing at this point in our project. So if you haven't seen our first stand-up, Sean walked us through the idea of the project. It's a Plotly dashboard that allows a policymaker or researcher to compare engagement strategies of Russia and US in the realm of social media, and specifically on Twitter. So as you can imagine, we had to collect quite a bit of data, and we're still in the process of collecting it. And that's actually the part that I will be walking you through today. Some of the challenges that we faced on the way to success. So Twitter API lets you collect about 3,200 tweets per user, Twitter REST API. And we had 285 embassies across the world that we had to deal with. And what makes it even more complex, we wanted to not just go with the ego network, but also collect tweets of the users that have interacted with the embassies. That grew our data requirement exponentially, and at this point we're at 670,000 tweets for all the embassies, and at 2.5 million total tweets total. And as you can imagine, we had to organize it in some way. Every tweet object has 76 fields. 32 pertain to the tweet itself, and 44 pertain to the user who is retweeting it. It gets a little bit more complex if you have a retweet, because it also contains the information about the original tweet and the user who was retweeted. So it required a really good structure. This amount of data, it required something that was fast and allowed us all to have access to. And we went with a Postgres SQL database, and you can kind of see the scheme in the background there. But it really it looks like a very complicated one, and it really is. One tweet could fill out this whole schema. But anyway, so that's something we worked through and finalized about the beginning of this week. The pipeline was finally ready and running, and pretty quickly we got quite a bit of data. And at this point, we're kind of shifting focus. So Sean worked on adding some new features while the data was being ingested, and he's done a tremendous job. I'm really excited for you guys to look at the final product. It's going to be amazing. And Asador has been focusing on a vital part of our project, which is the network analysis. He's done an amazing job of that as well, and he's looking into optimizing the speed of the calculations that go with it. And Network X is a bit slow, and especially with that much data, with that many users we are trying to visualize, we're going to need something that runs fast. So we're thinking about potentially pre-calculating some of these measures, network measures, and storing them somewhere aside. So that's what he's working through now, and that's kind of one of our challenges. I just finished up the ingestion pipeline and the pre-processing. I used Spacey to extract tokens, parts of speech, and named entities. And Spacey has 4 language models for the 4 top languages that we have in our tweets. So it's French, Russian, English, and Spanish. So it really worked out great. So that's kind of it for what we're working on now, and for what we're working to go forward is the optimization for the network analysis, and Sean is shifting focus to the NLP side. So he's going to be attempting to visualize the difference in messages using text in the vector space between all the embassies. So we want to kind of see, we're very curious about that. I want to see how these embassies line up, and if there's any similarity between Russian and US embassies, but we're expecting kind of to see those groups be pretty far apart. While they're close together, maybe the US and Russian groups be pretty well separated. We'll see what happens. Super excited about that. And finally, so for me, I'm shifting to create a metrics class, and you can kind of see it on the next slide. So that is your basic activity and engagement on Twitter, and you'll see that in a lot of the social media monitoring platforms, but we did want to make it a little bit more special, and so we put in the linguistic analysis where we compare the use of adjectives and nouns in tweets between embassies. We're looking at language distribution, so how much does an embassy use the native language compared to its language, or English or something else. And we also wanted to see the average length of a tweet, just how much do they try to communicate in their messages. We're also looking at the communities that these embassies interact with. So we wanted to make sure that the stakeholders can look at the cohesiveness of some of these subclusters in these networks. Are the embassies, do the embassies have a potential to engage with a large cohesive group that they might be missing out on that is really receptive to their messaging? And that will be done through network analysis, and some of the centrality measures should be able to tell us where the embassy is as far as its network goes, immediate network, and maybe some of the subclusters it has the potential to communicate with. So, and another piece that we're thinking of doing, we'll see if we run out of time or not, but it's hopefully not. We're looking, that'll be super exciting if we do get to implement it, but it's comparing the temporal patterns, engagement patterns between the embassies and the target audience. So those who are engaging with the embassy, are they on the same time pattern when it comes to engaging? Are they mostly active at night or day or morning, or the same time as the embassies are? And if that is not aligned, is a U.S. embassy more aligned with the target audience than the Russian embassy? And that would be a great comparison for us as well. So that's kind of it for us. And we would love to hear about any other features that you guys might think of. I would love to have any input. Please let us know what you think we should do. Thank you.